if you just held a mirror up to you, and instead of trying to find the thing that you think is wrong with you, you looked at yourself with compassion? Hi. I think it's time. Ow. Maybe it's not time, but I think it's time to have a discussion about dropping into our bodies and building a relationship with our bodies, and maybe setting aside the DSM-5, setting aside the psychoanalyzing and the hyper-intellectualizing of our emotions and experiences, and instead building a relationship with what our body is trying to tell us. Emotions start in the body. Emotions begin in the body. Our first experiences and methods of communication are through body language and body sensations, body experiences, right? As babies, we don't have words or the intelligence to communicate our thoughts and our feelings and everything that's going on. We can't even tell our parent that something hurts. But we're able to communicate with crying and with burping and farting. But my point is that the first mode of connection and communication is through our body. And that's why I believe it is the most intelligent form of connection and communication that we have, because it's our oldest form, it's our most intuitive form. Words cannot fully convey our experiences, but our body doesn't need our words in order for us to understand what we are experiencing. So I wanted to talk about this as kind of like framing a picture of what is actually happening in our bodies when we're experiencing anxiety. And this is to just help illustrate, one, how intelligent our body is, but two, how anxiety is actually a manifestation of the body rather than something psychologically wrong with us. When we're experiencing anxiety, what's happening is our brain is receiving signals from our body, somewhere in our body, that something is happening. So our hypothalamus in our brain is receiving these signals, these sensory signals. It then sends information to our pituitary gland, which releases hormones. And our pituitary gland then sends signals to our adrenal glands, which also release hormones. So all three of these are communication networks that are releasing hormones into our body to then basically create like a negative feedback loop to respond to what we are experiencing. This response can come in the form of adrenaline, and what would happen if we're experiencing adrenaline is our blood vessels constrict, creating hypertension, increasing anxiety. Adrenaline may occur in an actually stressful situation, and the reason why it would constrict our blood vessels is to conserve energy. Because when our blood vessels are relaxed, it understands that we are in a state of rest and digest, basically. We're able to kind of let our energy go, and we don't need to hold on to it to keep us alive. But when our blood vessels are constricting, it understands that we need to be holding on to this energy because we are not safe and we need to do something to help keep us alive. And in our primal days, this could be we needed that energy to run away from a predator. But in these days, it ends up being, we need this energy to survive this email we just received. And what's happening lately is we're taught that this anxiety that we experience is a problem, and that our systems can fix us, that it has sold us a problem, and now it can also sell us a fix to this problem in the form of medication, intervention, what have you. And I would like to recognize that relief is very powerful, and that it is important to receive relief for the things that bring us suffering. And at the same time, relief can become a dangerous form of escape if it is the only thing we are seeking out to help us with our anxiety. Now I'm just using anxiety as an example here. So it's important to obtain relief, but relief is not the only answer. Anxiety is just a symptom of what is actually happening in our body. Our anxiety could actually be trying to communicate something to us. Our anxiety could be trying to communicate what we are ignoring from our intuition, right? In a previous video, I stated a time when I was not listening to my intuition, and it ended up manifesting itself as extreme anxiety. And it wasn't until after the fact that I began to understand that's what that anxiety was trying to do for me, to get me to pay attention and listen. And so when the only thing we're doing is trying to just get relief from something that we don't fully understand yet, we're missing a very valuable component to our experiences, which is building a relationship with our body, building a relationship with the unknown, with the feminine, with our intuition. And now more than ever, it's become extremely important to build a relationship with our bodies, to build a relationship with our intuition. We are in very ungrounded times, and the body is the best way to bring you back into this moment. And often we're taught to fear our bodies because sometimes there's things happening inside of our bodies that we don't understand, and doctors are telling us that they understand it, but really it's just insurance telling them to tell us that they understand it, so that way they can just prescribe us medicine and then they can get money from insurance. And I say all of this because body literacy is one of the most important facets of liberation. And it just seems kind of ironic to me that a lot of revolutionary movements that I'm seeing lately also are paired with this idea that there's something chronically wrong with the individuals within this movement. Like, these individuals believe that there's something wrong with them and that their doctors can fix them, but their doctors are just part of this system that these revolutionary movements are trying to protest. And so I ask people within these movements, is there something wrong with you? And do you actually believe that, or is it trendy to think there's something wrong with you? I also ask them, do you actually think this doctor can help you? Because it seems like a lot of us have been and are currently being failed by the medical system, at least in the United States. And yet so many people are still relying on this system. And so what would it mean for you if you empowered yourself into educating yourself about what's happening inside of your body, instead of giving your power to doctors who are just receiving payouts from insurance companies who don't even care about you? Let's go ahead and bring it back to the body. Much like when we have a wound on a place in our body, that wound needs to be healed. But we don't heal that wound by continuously dissecting it, opening it, picking the scab, trying to force it into healing. We heal it by applying salves, antiseptics, bandages, by tending to it. And the same is true about our psyche and our mind. We don't heal the wounds that we face in our minds by trying to force it, because really, one, the wounds don't start in our minds, they start in our bodies and our experiences. They start in our sensations, and then they arise in our mind. So I would just like to offer the idea that your healing cannot be forced, that your healing cannot be picked and dissected and analyzed into its destination, that your healing is a very gentle process. And so before you begin to ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? Ask your body, how are you doing today? What are your sensations? What are you feeling? Drop into where you feel those and just be with them. What if you didn't try to fix it for once? What if you didn't try to figure it out for once and you just let it be? So these are my offerings. My in for the autumn equinox is dropping into the body, rooting into your authenticity, rooting into who you are. And my out is psychoanalyzing and intellectualizing our emotions and experiences.